Hey guys, Sharptooth and Fatticus here from the Diablokes. We're going to do a quick design preview thing for the 1.03 patch that's coming out tomorrow. For those of you who aren't really familiar with what's going on and how it affects you, we'll go over some of the changes that you need to know. Fatty, would you like to start us out?
All right, yeah. So yeah, it comes out tonight. Servers are going down, and we're getting a lot of big changes. Some good, some bad, some they're all improvements. So um, most of the big things people know about, we'll get to. But right now, we're looking at some of the skills, mostly tooltips being adjusted. Some for the barb, the overpower tooltip, relentless. They're changing a little bit. Rather than skills costing no fury, they now cost 75% less. So
It's a
nice little
pretty big
change.
change. It's almost a nerf, but I guess it was a little bit buggy when you'd get below 25% health to have everything be free. So you
Yeah.
could spam some skills like sprint and whatnot and have no worry about getting away. So I'd say it's more of a bug fix, but it is a slight nerf. As far as I know, the overpower change, that's always been the case. It's just some tooltip clarification. And the stun on throwing hammer is being reduced by the tooltip, but apparently it's always been that way.
Yeah, a lot of these are hot fixes they've already put in. They were what the tooltips say they were at the beginning, but they hot fixed them. But they needed to do a server side change the tooltips. So a lot of these have already gone into effect. It's just we're just now seeing the information given to us reflect that change.
Yeah, the only real other big change I see that I think is going to be a decent change is the damage change on Meteor from Star Pack to make it arcane damage, which makes it work better with an arcane build if you're using the passive that makes arcane damage slow things for 30%. So that you might be able to throw that Meteor skill into your rotation if you're using those passives. We'll have to see though.
Other things with tooltips, the Demon Hunter stun grenades tooltips getting adjusted. Wizards paralysis tooltips being adjusted to correct or to show the correct value. Demon Hunter, their dazzling arrow, changing the damage type to physical. Not really sure what it was for. I'm not really a Demon
Yeah,
Hunter.
me either. That could be a big change. It can probably not. I don't know. Uh,
Enchantress is getting a hit. The range of her mass control is getting cut damn near in half to from 15 to 8.
Yeah, I that skill's kind of buggy anyway. I hope they affect the AI on that a little bit. When the game first released, if you were running with her, she could actually polymorph you sometimes.
As a witch doctor, should polymorph my pets quite a bit. And it's funny, but you don't want
It's
it to
kind of
happen.
frustrating, yeah, especially if you're playing hardcore. You don't want that.
Let's see, other big changes. Frenzy Shrines no longer up your crit bonus.
That wasn't
And
even really that relevant, I don't think. I mean, it doesn't say that it does that. Never
yeah,
did. It just says it increases your attack damage. So
next time you grab one, you might feel a small. You won't feel as big of a god. Um,
yeah, I
the
think.
one, oh, go
Yeah,
for
go
it.
ahead.
All right. One I think a lot of people are going to notice that are having a little hard time now, and these boss battles is Siegebreaker, Zoltankuhl, and Belial are now getting rage timers, kind of like champion packs do. It says they have a new ability when they enrage. I think it's just going to be that that persistent dot almost.
Yeah, as far as I understand, it's the same as Champion and Elite packs have right now. So it's not very colorful, but it does serve its purpose.
Uh, who is it? The butcher's always had a enrage timer, just through his like
The fire
almost
on the
like an
ground,
integrated.
yeah.
Yeah, the fire in the ground. So like if you ever had trouble with him, that's what that was. Like if after a while the fire in the ground would just be his like soft enrage. Or I guess that'd be hard enrage. I don't know. But yeah, it sucked. Now I think most everybody who's serious about the game's past the point where they're struggling with the butcher, even on Inferno. Um, it may hurt some people though, especially people just now getting in here. But there's enough gear out there that I don't think the rage timers are going to hurt that many people.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not adding enrage timers to other bosses like Sadea or Asmodan, or even Istaku or Iskatu, whatever the guy's name is, and Iswal, things like that. I know not a lot of people have gotten there yet, but
They're giving them a chance to just bang their head against that for as long as they want.
I assume so. But it seems like people who have gotten a Siegebreaker have probably gotten Asmodan at least. It's not that much of a jump.
Yeah, we got to both Siegebreaker, started farming it, and then we just went to Asmodan and downed them. It really wasn't
Yeah,
no
I think
fuss.
the later part of Act 3 is not any harder than the middle, at least for most classes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they'll add something like that later on. I'm not really sure if Asmodan, if his abilities start getting worse as time progresses, if he starts opening more portals or something.
Uh, it, Everything may be getting harder with this next part, just with the huge, wildly unpopular attack speed. Nerf.
Yeah, everybody's going to get hit by this. Pretty much what they're doing is they're just reducing all values on items, and this will affect items that are already in the game.
It's mostly going to hurt the demon hunters and the monks. Like, probably pretty bad. We'll see how it actually hurts. How bad it hurts. Demon hunters, they can take it. Fuck them. Monks, I've got a little bit of sympathy for that. They need that life on hit. They need that fast attack speed. Me, witch doctor, poor old witch doctor. There's probably a couple of you out there that can sympathize. My dart build's probably gonna take a dump just because I'm based on attack speed with splinters to do crazy damage, and the animation on that's so slow, especially in Act 2, is so frustrating because you'd shoot and then the shoot animation would take so long that you couldn't dodge. So the attack speed was damage and survivability. It was wonderful, and now they're cutting everything by some of them over half.
Yeah, I mean, the problem was that increased attack speed was the single most efficient stat for increasing your DPS by a lot. What they're doing is kind of toning it back a little bit so it's not as good as it used to be. It's still going to be good, but you're definitely going to notice a change if you're trying to deck yourself out and increase attack speed gear on your rings, amulets, weapons, all sorts of things like that.
The only thing not getting a hit's quivers, but that makes sense.
And also, it's going to reduce the overall damage on a lot of weapons as well. Because if you've noticed, the increased attack speed is factored into the weapon DPS on the tooltip.
Which is, it's gonna hurt because right now I'm at 2.4 attacks per second, and with what I'm looking at here, it's gonna drop my attack speed down to maybe 1.8, maybe less. That's a big drop. It's probably gonna drop my damage from where it is now at 44,000 down to maybe under 40, maybe low 30s, mid 30s.
And if you are a demon hunter, the quivers are not getting affected, as far as I'm aware. If you've noticed, the other class-specific offhands for the Witch Doctor and Wizard add damage, but the quivers add attack speed instead. So they feel like that's in a good spot, I suppose, and they're not touching it. It's good news for you, I guess.
If you want to see exactly how hard everything's getting hit, check out the post on the Diablo. It's got a good breakdown of what it's going from to what it's going to.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen it here on the back, but we've got the chart of all the old and new values on most things. There's some more information out there if you look around for it, if you're interested in some more deep theory crafting and such. One change I'm kind of excited for is the crafting changes for costs for the lower quality items.
Yeah, it's making them reasonable instead of just glancing over them entirely or leaving them on the ground. It's worth picking up lower quality gems, and for your lower level characters, crafting the lesser quality items, because gems are getting cheaper, like huge cost reduction under flawless square. Above flawless square is the same.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at this, to make a flawless square, you need 100 gold in 2 squares instead of 3 squares and 20,000 gold. So if you've been saving up some lower quality gems, which really can't do much else with them at the moment, you'll be able to combine them for a very reasonable price and sell them, use them, whatever you're doing. Beforehand, you've probably noticed it was pointless to keep anything below a square even.
Especially with the auction house being as weird as it is, and people charging nothing, like less than it costs to craft things. So like, why would you craft it when you could just buy from the auction house for less? Blacksmithing, I still don't think it's going to be very popular, just because it costs so many mats. And it's like, even with the reduction, like you can find stuff better than most of the stuff you can craft. and the ones you do want to craft aren't getting cheaper. They're 200k to craft something, and it's usually garbage. Ceremonial knife with strength dex. Thanks.
Yeah, pretty much what you need to know for the blacksmithing plans is the drop plans can have the yellow plans anyway. They either have 4, 5, or 6 random properties. The 4 and the 5 property plans are getting substantially cheaper to make, but the 6 property plans are staying the same. So if you've been holding on to your mats wanting to make some 6 property plans, you're out of luck, I'm sorry. But the 4 and 5s will be cheaper, and you can still get some pretty good stuff from that.
You can. You're gonna have to craft a ton of them to find the one that's rolled for you. But that's what the auction house is for. To throw that extra stuff, if it's rolled well for someone else, on there, give it to your buddy. Disenchant it, reuse the supplies, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and as far as the auction house is concerned, this will probably raise the price of essences a little bit, I would assume, and the
Above the
tiers.
ridiculous price they are now.
Yeah, they're not too bad right now, but if more people are crafting and having better luck with it, the essences will go up in price a little bit.
Yeah, right now, like if you have something level 60 that's no good, you find an item, it sells to the vendor for 600 gold. If you disenchant it, you're getting usually 2 essence, sometimes a tier, and if you're real lucky, the fire brimstone. Fire brimstone sell for 30,000 gold. Just the one essence is 2,500 at the moment. It's been floating around 2,000, so there's your money. You need to do that, guys. Pro tip.
Yeah, that's definitely good. A good idea, and if the price of the exquisite essences goes up, 3,000, 4,000 gold a piece because of this change, you could be making some money there if you don't want to spend some money on the blacksmith. They've also added in a achievement from Mist of Pandaria if you pre-order that.
That's where everyone's most excited about.
I'm
Mist of
super
Pandaria,
excited. Yeah,
Feat of Strength.
I mean, if you're looking forward to Mist of Pandaria, that probably means that it's coming out pretty soon. So if you're into that, go for it. A couple changes that aren't in the patch notes that we really want to talk about are, first off, they're changing the drop rates for the high tier level 61, 62, and 63 gear throughout all of Inferno and some of Hell. As it is right now, you can only get level 63 gear in Act 3 and Act 4 Inferno. Well, that's changing. With this new patch, it'll be a small drop rate, but you can get it in Act 1 and Act 2. If you see from this chart right here, you have a 2% chance to get item level 63 gear in Inferno Act 1, 4% in Act 2, and 8% in Act 3 and 4. I'm not 100% sure what the current drop rate is for Act 3 and 4, but I think it's either about the same or a little bit higher. Have you heard anything about that, Fetty? I could be wrong.
The drop rate right now in Act 3 for Act 3 gear, it doesn't feel great, but it's probably where it should be. It is exciting, the higher drop rates in the lower levels. If you want to farm Act 1, you should be able to farm Act 1 and get the chance for your gear. It's something I'm glad they did.
Right, because you have to have 63 gear to do Act 3 and 4. And that being the only place it drops is very, very hard on people, because either you're spending a lot of money in the auction house or you're beating your head against the wall, dying over and over again, trying to kill things in Act 3 and 4. So this
doesn't work now.
Yeah, for something else we'll get to. But this will make it possible for you to progress a little bit more easily. Because that's important, because as Fatty just mentioned, there are also increasing is the repair costs with this patch. I don't think we have a concrete number, but some of the numbers they've thrown up between 5 and 6 times what they are now.
Which I love. Everyone on the forums, not everyone, the soft kids on the forums are bitching about it. But they don't understand that it's good for the game. Yes, your repair bill goes up. People need to start concentrating on better builds. I mean, yes, the glass cannon is nice. You progress fast, you die a ton, you don't care. You need to start, like the demon hunters especially. I don't like them. They're bad people. They make up numbers and they rub them in your face. Stop. They are just building straight damage, no health. I know it doesn't make sense to build health because it's too expensive and too great a cost of damage. but you need to be a well-rounded character. You need to have some, like, you get hit by one electrocute. I don't care if you have 150,000 damage. One electrocute shouldn't kill you. You need to have a little bit toughness behind you, and that's what the higher repair bills are going to do. They're going to make people rethink a little bit, and it's going to pull more money out of the economy, which is really important, especially since gold's going to start going on the real money auction house. Like, people need, we need a gold sink so that the gold just doesn't become worthless.
Right, and we'll see what the numbers are tomorrow, but if between 5 and 6 times, that'll make, I don't know about you, but my repair bill is probably 60, 70,000 gold when I'm broken, which that's a good chunk of change.
Yeah, it's like that. Normally, like right now, you can die a couple times farming something, and you'll still come out positive in the money. Well, you can die a ton.
Yeah.
You can go full red and come out ahead after a day's like that session's farming. Now you go full red, you're gonna not like it. It's that big item you found, half its value's gone to your repair bill.
And a couple last points here. They are fine-tuning the difficulty in Inferno, mostly reducing the spikiness of the damage and to reduce the brick wall feelings between Act 1 and 2 and Act 2 and 3, meaning it's not as huge of a difference in difficulty between the two acts, which I think...
Does that mean they're going to lower the difficulty over all of 3, or they're going to make the beginning part easier of Act 2 and beginning of Act 3 and then ramp it up from there slowly?
Don't really know. I mean, I would assume that because the bridge is, you have Act 1 difficulty here. Let's try the mirror image here. Act 1 difficulty here and Act 2 is way up here. Well, you might end up making the end of Act 1 a little bit harder and the beginning of Act 2 a little bit easier. Something like that. I don't really know how they're doing it. I don't think they've said, but
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, reducing the spikiness of the damage is very important, I think, because, it doesn't matter how much health you have, sometimes you'll just die. That's what it feels like to me.
We've missed a big, exciting patch, or thing in the patch, though. The Nephilim Veiler.
Yes.
Stacks.
As it stands right now, I'm sure if you're level 60, you've seen this. You get to level 60 when you kill a champion or elite pack of mobs. You get a buff for Nephilim Valor. And most bosses, if you have 5 stacks of Nephilim Valor, are guaranteed to drop at least 2 rares. Well, they're changing it so that they'll only be guaranteed to drop 1 rare if you have 5 stacks. But every rare pack that you kill after 5 is guaranteed a rare as well. So Siegebreaker runs and things like that people are doing won't be the best way to get rares anymore. It'll be just keep killing champions and elite mobs over and over again.
Yeah, because like right now what people are doing is getting 5 stacks, killing a boss, resetting, getting 5 stacks on a boss. And it sucks because you get your 5 stacks and you're just resetting them. Now you get 5 stacks and you just do whatever you want. If you don't want to kill a boss, don't kill a boss. Go find another pack.
Yeah, and that's it's an incentive to keep playing through an act, keep pushing to get further and further instead of just,
sitting in one area.
Yeah, let's kill Siegebreaker. Okay, he's dead. Let's restart and do it again.
Yep.
No point in going on any further. We already got our 2 rares.
One of the neat things I'm really excited for is the idea of doing the old school butcher runs, which I've been doing, like we did before we, got into Act 3, started farming that. And then, like, getting 5 stacks, killing butcher, doing all of that. And then hopping into Whimsyshire and just going through there and 5 stacks, getting, rare off everything.
Yeah, so I don't really want to say they're making things easier. They kind of are, but I think they're just making it more doable.
I think they're rewarding they're giving you more rewards for your time, because like right now, I'm putting in a gross amount of time, and I'll get it's worth it, I guess. But right now, like with this, it's just jamie packs are still hard, and with increased drop rates at the earlier levels, you can choose your way of farming. Right now, I'm set in I have to farm Act 3, and this way I can farm Act 1 if I want. Lower chance of drop rate,
right.
But I can do it.
It's less frustrating. It's something I can do for a little bit and not feel like I'm wasting my time.
Yeah, you can jump around too. You don't have to farm one area. You can, with the new drop rates and the new Nephilim Baylor system, you can just roam around. It's an open world again. Have fun.
Well, I think that's we've covered everything here. You guys are interested for more information, stay tuned to our website. We've got, as you can see, lots of nice informative posts. Some more videos. We'll probably play around with some of the patch changes tomorrow and get some content out for that. If you like the video, guys, please subscribe and keep checking us out. And we'll probably be doing some live streaming tomorrow. If check us out on our website. We have a live stream section up here at the top.
We haven't been so active on there lately, but we need to get back onto it.
Yeah, we'll definitely be live streaming some tomorrow and throughout the week, and check out the new patch. So stay tuned for that. Thanks a lot, everybody.